Alright, first off, I'd like to say our praises to Yahweh Shem Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Stone, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom to the sisters, the believers, the helps, right? The hopeful elect, right? And basically wanted this lesson based upon the name of the Lord, right? And where a lot of these other Hebrew Israelites groups don't understand, especially the IUIC, right? Is they known as a brother, I don't remember which brother do it, but him do a breakdown and share that them take the name of the Lord in vain, right? Them see it as a thing of naught. So call him whatever you want, call him no matter which name. Um, we get the name of the kingdom. Here another brother say, look here, if the Lord will give you the understanding for break down certain things in the Hebrew, let alone for we even start give yourself Hebrew names, then obviously it might put the spirit power for even understand theme name even if we not speak fluent Hebrew, right? But the name of the Lord is very important. Time and time again, it's in the scripture is a name to be glorified, and based upon this scripture I'm about to read, brothers are basically get the full understanding. Hopefully, you brothers are edified. Now, this is Proverbs 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord, or the name of Yahweh, is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Right? Now, it says it's a strong tower and the righteous runneth into it and is safe. Now, that means that it's a defense. Right? Every time you're in a trouble or every time something happen to you, you basically then in a trouble or you're in a vulnerable position, you're unsafe, you're insecure, right? And in order for you be safe, then you need basically protection, a defense, a shield, right? Now, what is a tower, right? In an ancient time, why purpose are people building towers? And they notice they say it's a strong tower. If you look up the definition in the BLB, I can't do it right now because the internet basically has some problems. It basically means castle tower. That's one of the definitions, and we have an article right here. But basically, I'll go in how a castle tower is stayed at ancient times, right? So, no matter what the situation, the scripture said, as a matter of fact, I see that later with us going at it. So as it say, it's a strong tower, and can we see some characteristics of strong towers and why the name of the Lord is so important. So that's why in our ancient time, our forefathers always called upon the Most High because we defend it from everything, right? Now this is from www.exploringcastles.com, right? And this, as we say, with this breakdown, what would be an example or idea of a strong tower? It says medieval castle defense, defending a castle, right? We'll skip most of it and just go straight to the point. It says medieval castles were built to be as defensive as possible. Slovakia. Every element of their architecture were designed to make sure that the castle was as strong as it could be and could hold out against sieges, which could sometimes last months, right? Here are different elements of castle defenses which render some fortresses truly impregnable. So, the most I name supposed to be a defense where you can't break through. As a matter of fact, that the scriptures it say it's a tower, it's a strong tower, the righteous run into it and safe. So once I use the name of Yahweh Shemai Shai in whatever situation we reach, especially now we in a captivity and need protection, we have Esau coming against you, we have the martial law coming up, right? World War III, famine, pestilence, the sword, all them things they are come up. We need a defense, right? Even right now we need a defense to hold the so-called white man are going, right? Because from the one side, the Yahweh Shemai Shai turn from we basically I get whipped right, left and center here. We're under the curses. So we need but that defense so what we can be safe, so we can at rest, so we can at ease, so that we can be on top and nobody can overthrow it. Right? It says the outer curtain wall. The curtain wall was a vast stone wall which wrapped around the outside of a castle. As you might imagine, it's called a curtain because it covered everything within. So right there and then you're in a trouble. Big wall the circle around it. Scripture tell that the angel of the Lord of the Most High encampeth about the righteous, right? So imagine that you right away have one defense a wall a layer right there, right? It says usually the center of the wall was made of rough rocks and rubble and the outer part was made of gigantic stones laid like modern day bricks. Right? Basically, yeah, it says this method of construction gave the core of the wall extra strength and it helped it to withstand battering rams and missiles. Right? So that is one thing right there again. Right? Now this says moats and water defenses. It says many castles were surrounded by man-made ditches which were filled with water and turned into moats. Right? So imagine that. Moats, Slovakia, right? So even before them get to the curtain, imagine this is show the elements of a strong tower. You know? It start out with even a little man-made ditch, right, or a river where them left for basically get mucky and stink. It says incidentally, the water in the moat would be truly disgusting. It was stagnant, and all the waste from the castle toilets were tipped straight in it. So first of all, that alone, when they have the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, it deter people from want come around you. When they hear that, they know say Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, what them say will come out of Egypt. Them say we hear that Yahweh is with you. So that alone make you just come like say one vile mutt when them decide to look here, we don't want to come near them people because it's even them have a strong power, right? So even that alone, that are just one simple thing and it's a deterrent already. Now think about all these things that apply to the name of the Lord, right? Um it says make it we just want to sift through it in a second, Salakia. It says mods serve a number of useful purposes. Firstly, it meant that attackers couldn't get too close to the outer walls, which should have been the curtain. We'll read up further. This prevented them from being able to use battering rams and made it harder to be accurate when flinging missiles. Exactly, because they must stay far off, right? It says it made it easy for archers in the castle to aim at oncomers. Imagine you are an archer standing on high, and if there was someone a foot of the castle, at the foot of the castle directly below, it would have been difficult to fire at them accurately. A mount meant that attackers couldn't get too close, so it was easier to pick them off with arrows. Right? So right there already we have the two lines of defense here which show us a look this when we stand up in the center that when they have the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, you stand up in the center of the curtain basically around you and also the moat around the curtain and some curtains actually have like they will have double curtains, right? So you have one big wall around and then within that wall you have a little space and then a second wall circle round again, right? It says turret, towers, and lookout points. It's hard to imagine in a world of satellite images, but in medieval times it would have been excruciatingly difficult to interpret where an enemy army might have been marching from. Right? Castle towers were designed to give an unobstructed paramount pa, paro, Slovakia panorama of the countryside around a fortress so lookouts could spot oncoming attackers. So right there and then we have the turrets and all them things there. Once trouble when you have the name of the Lord, the most I look out for you. Once you call on him and look out for so every enemy we come across, the Lord already see them, the Lord already know them. Right? So the archers them whatever way the most I see it fit on a spiritual level, you see them, him see them, and him just do whatever I need for do for if you put them off. It says castle architects also realized that by designing castles strategically, they could glean the best possible view of surrounding countryside. They therefore designed symmetrical castles which helped give broader sightlines and taller towers which would be massive which would maximize the view. Slovakia, right? So there you have it, right? That are two what are three upside. It says the gatehouse, right? It says it sounds a bit silly to say, but castles needed an entrance. In times of peace, how else would food, musicians, craftsmen, the lord and lady, knights and nobles ever entered into the place otherwise, right? It started to say a problem with it is that during the time of siege, people that want attack the entrance and all of that. It says there would have been a road up to the entrance, giving attackers an easy passageway around surrounding obstacles, and naturally, you can't build a door out of stone. This meant that the castle entrance was very vulnerable to battering rams and flaming onslaughts from any approaching attacker. The solution to this was the design of the gatehouse. This was incredibly strong, fortified entrance building that made it really unattractive to attack this part of the castle. So even right at the door, it very unattractive to them, and it above will tell you why. It says the gatehouse was filled with obstacles, multiple metal portcullis, gateways, arrow slits to fire on intruders, many different gates, doors, and drawbridges, and even famous murder holes in the ceiling which boiling water could be poured through. Right? So not even the gate. Right? These are all like things where Yahweh Shai name a gear you that are the defense with a gear where people can't break through. Once I use that name, once I honor that name, nothing can touch you. It tell you like a strong tower. Now, as we say, you just think about this on a corner level, and then you look how it play out in the spiritual form. Why the scripture are showing this the strength or the name of Yahweh Shemaiah. When I think about these ancient castles and how fortified they were, this is how you're safe. As I say, imagine you there at the center of this and wait for whatever attack of it to break through. You know, say, man never break through, right? It says the invention of the gatehouse transformed the entrance from being one of the weakest parts of the castle into the most formidable spot of all. Right? It says, would you wish to run the gauntlet of all these traps and obstacles, or would you find another way to enter the castle? Right? And another thing about the moats, what we had talked about earlier, them usually dig them so deep and make them mucky, very very mucky, and them like plant spikes at the bottom of them, So even when them try cross it, them basically gonna get stick by the spikes, right? Next section. I don't want this too long, right? Next second section, the drawbridge. Everyone today can imagine a castle drawbridge, but the sort that you probably think of right now, a large wooden plank attached to the side of the castle and lowered down on the chains, as actually was actually a late medieval invention. Other designs were used for a long time before this, right? It says, curiously, the early drawbridge designs were fussier and a bit harder to explain. At most, a basic level, they could be an unsecure piece of wood, of longwood, which was removed when attackers were nearby. So imagine that, a drawbridge. So not even a bridge them have to come across which part you there, right? You just move that. So them have to find out, them have to build a bridge now. If you even get to it, it's so much work it'll take them forget you when you have the name of Yahweh Shemi Ashai. But the funny thing about that is no matter how much work them put in, them still not gonna breach. It's like as Yahweh Shai would have say, it is hard for you to kick against the pricks, As simple as that. It says a different system work a, a bit better, a different system worked a bit like a set of hands on a clock. The wooden drawbridge was rotated across the moat like a big hand reaching from 3 o'clock around to 6. Another system we nowadays call a bascule was a seesaw type arrangement with a complex counterweight on either side to draw up one side whilst the other went down. Right? The final thing is the Barbican. It says during the late medieval times, a further line of defense was onto built onto threatened castles. This was the Barbican, a new extension which jutted out from the gatehouse of fortress like Dover. The Barbican was an extension of the pre-existing gatehouse in which it would contain another layer of porticos, murder holes, arrow slits, and traps to foil attackers. So basically, it's a narrow passage with some arches over it, and you have spaces at the top. So with each arch, they might go through, but very narrow. And when them going at that, basically, as it say, I want murder hole, right? It says, because the Barbican was a later addition to medieval castles, designers understood how to create a truly impassable obstacle. As a result, the only route for anyone walking through a Barbicans would be a narrow path with many sharp twists and turns, right? The reason for so many sharp turns, well, these turns would have given archers a phenomenal vantage point over anyone walking on the ground. It would make any attacker a sitting duck, ready to be picked off by a bow and arrow, right? And it gives some it says examples of strong medieval castle defenses. It says Dover Castle, right? And the Carry in Wales, right? So brothers can check that out. So as you say out, as I read the scripture again, how Proverbs 18 verse 10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous runneth into it and is safe. Right? So for all who don't want to use the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, fine. Just know say yo your defense is strong. The Lord even said, call upon the gods them will deliver you. Make IUIC call upon Christ or Jesus or anybody with two-third or whosoever want call upon you. But the righteous are called upon the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. Because as we just showed, that is what the name of the Lord is like. It's much, much greater than what we just said. But Solomon just give an example for help build the confidence in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai to show you how strong it is, yo. Because no matter what the situation we once you call upon that name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai with patience, even down to the last minute, yo, you are good, yo. That's why scripture say, make no haste in time of trouble. And just one more scripture, final scripture for help um back up this precept, right? So okay. Uh, oh boy. So so okay, let me just find this precept. Right. So this is Jeremiah 32 verse 27. Behold, I am Yahweh, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Right? So that's what the Lord Yahweh basically asks, right? So no matter what is it, I just you could have fall out of a building or boat for lie down on some spikes and just call upon the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. Not no there, you'll probably just go through it or something, right? You just any situation you can think of, yo. Just know that Yahweh Hashem Yahshai can do all things, yo. Right? And this is so okay. This is Matthew, yeah, this is Luke 1:37. For with God nothing shall be impossible. Right? So basically that's just it, yo. Just to show the brothers that look, just continue calling on the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, Yahweh the name of the Father, Yahweh Shai the name of the Son. Those are the right names, right? You call for things in the name of Yahweh Shai, call to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, right? Because that's the harder, that's how him said it for go, right? So you want beat at it all, so prepares were edified once more. Once all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Raymond Stone, and shalom to the brothers in highways and byways pushing this word now sincerity and truth. Shalom.